Peace. What's good, guys? How's it going? Let's talk about and discuss Smackdown for March the 17th, 2023. The St. Patrick's Day edition. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Drink responsibly. Alright, so we kick the show off with Cody Rhodes. He comes out to a really good pop. Cody asks the crowd, what do they want to talk about? He mentions WrestleMania. Cody talks about tempers and mistakes on the road to WrestleMania. He says he has the utmost respect for Roman Reigns. Cody says Reigns is the greatest champion in sports. He looks forward to seeing Roman in the ring on Raw and then beating Roman in WrestleMania. Cody says he doesn't want to talk about somebody. He wants to talk about... he wants to talk to somebody. Cody says this person is back there watching, so he calls out Kevin Owens. Cody says he's trying to ask nicely. So KO comes out. KO thanks Cody and says he's sure he knows what this is about. Cody interrupts and says this isn't a conversation between two people. It involves another party. So Cody then calls out Sami Zayn. So Sami comes out to a decent pop. KO argues with Cody. So Cody takes the mic. He mentions the love and respect he has for Kevin Owens. Cody recalls leaving WWE years ago and wishing them the best in the future endeavors. He thanks Kevin for introducing him to some friends, aka the Young Bucks, who helped him out and bettered his livelihood. It's a favor Cody can never repay, but he'd like to try in this moment. Cody says, since we're all here, let's have the conversation. Then there's a hug it out chant from the fans. Kevin Owens has heard everything Sami has to say. Sami says he hadn't heard all of what Kevin Owens has to say. Sami recalls the bad things they've done to each other over the years, but always come back to each other, and he can't understand why now is any different. Sami tells Kevin Owens to do or say whatever he needs to do to get so they can get back to working together, even if that means punching him in the face. So KO tells Cody he came out here as he asked. So did you get what you wanted? So KO wants to leave. Cody says that they're in the pleasing people business, so it doesn't matter what he wants. But everyone wants to see them back together on the same page. So Sami goes on how they can do something magical if they come together. They can bring down the bloodline. Sami says it may take years to repair this, but they don't need to be friends to do this. They just need to work together. Kevin Owens says he gets it. Sami just wants him to take on the bloodline with Cody, and they don't need to be friends. But why fight? But why would he fight for someone who doesn't even want to be his friend? KO thanks Cody for doing this. He says he's all set. Owens, he dips out, and Sami and Cody look on. Pretty cool little segment. Rather long promo. So moments later, we're in the parking lot. Thankfully, Sami or Kevin didn't get attacked because, those parking lots, they're dreadful. They're dangerous, especially on NXT. So Sami runs out to stop him. Sami says, forget what he said about the bloodline and all that. Sami says, they're friends. They've always have been and always will be. They're brothers. Sami says if KO never wants to talk to him again. That's fine, but he loves him. So then Kevin Owens gets in his car and he speeds away. And then Sami's looking around for Kevin Owens to turn around, but he doesn't. First match of the night, Santos Escobar and Zelina Vega versus Dominik Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. So Rhea wins via the Riptide. Zelina Vega did really good in this match. I enjoyed it. It was rather short, but it was decent though. Post-match, Dominik gets on the mic. He says, your WWE Hall of Famer is nothing but a disrespectful deadbeat of a father who never was there for his son. And if for whatever reason we went to commercial, which was stupid, so this kind of ruined the moment for me. I was like, damn, why did I always have to go to commercial so much? It doesn't make any sense. So Rey Mysterio, he comes out. Dom comments on how Rey showed up this time. He's missed so many nights at home in the past. Rey asked Rhea if he can have a moment with his son. So she just scoots over and dips out the ring for a second. Dom goes on and tells Rey that he took his WrestleMania moment because he's nothing but a scared, failed attempt at a father. Dominik goes on to call Rey a piece of shit, but Rey interrupts. So that was really cool. I love that. Rey says he hasn't been the best father, and he wasn't the best father. He's missed a lot of things, but that doesn't take away his love. Rey says he still loves Dominik, whether Dominik believes it or not. He's Rey's world. But pretty soon, and very soon, Dominik will find out how selfish this business is and how Rey made sacrifices that Dominik, his mom, and his sister would have the life only Rey could dream of. All the fancy cars, the brand names, you name it, Dominik had it. So he mentions like Gucci, Prada, Versace, all that. Like, damn, okay. Every time Dominik got into trouble, his last name got him out. That was really good right there. So Rey, he starts to get choked up, and he says that he's having a hard time coping with this situation. Rey says he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's done nothing more than have Dominik by his side on the stage. Rey says his biggest regret is what Dominik has become. He says if some ungrateful, disrespectful, pathetic punk ass kid caught him out at WrestleMania, he glad he whooped their ass. Rey says, unfortunately, Dominik is his son, and fighting him would be the biggest disgrace as a father. Rey says Dominik isn't worth it. He won't fight him now or anytime. He won't fight him at WrestleMania either. So Rey drops the mic. He dips out. So Dominik proceeds to put Rey down some more. And he calls him a scared little man. And he keeps on making fun of him. And then Rey dips out and bows his head. Pretty good little segment. I enjoyed that. I still think what they're going to do is probably going to be a tag match. Dominik and Damian Priest versus Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. That to me would make the most sense. Although they have enough time to put some more heat on this, where hopefully on Raw we get some type of intervention, family intervention, where all four of them are sitting down, Rey, Dominik, Angie, and Aaliyah. They're all sitting down, and maybe Dominik, maybe he like slaps his mom or pushes her, or he slaps or pushes Aaliyah, and that's what causes Rey to snap, and then that's when we get the match there. So there's still time for that. So I'm holding out hope for that. Hopefully that does happen. I really do. I think that would be badass, because that would get Dominik so much heat. Then they mentioned on commentary that there's going to be a couple planned Fatal 4-Way tag matches for the men and women to get on the WrestleMania card. And I'm just like, oh my God, this dumb shit is so stupid. We don't need this at WrestleMania. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone cannot be on the WrestleMania match card. It doesn't make sense. Like, why? So, the first qualifier for the Fatal 4-Way tag match for the women, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Emma and Tegan Nox. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, they win. Who really cares? It means nothing. Liv won via the Oblivion. It's not even that important. Like, why are we doing this? So, Charlotte Flair, she's out next. She gets on the mic. She wants to, at the WrestleMania sign, and she says, the more things change, the more they stay the same. She recalls being a kid in this business was built on Rhodes as a challenger and Flair as a champion. Here we are years later, and WrestleMania 39 is built on the same thing. Charlotte goes on about how she's been a star in all her WrestleMania matches. She says Rhea Ripley can't be the star or champion until she goes through her, which she couldn't do 3 years ago, and which she won't do now, because the more things change, the more they stay the same. So Rhea, she comes out with Dominik Mysterio. Rhea says Charlotte is right. She chose Charlotte, not Bianca Belair. She has reasons for not picking Bianca, and she'll get back to that. So Rhea then goes on and says how male and female superstars fear her, except for Charlotte Flair, and that pisses Rhea off. So Rhea praises Charlotte some more and says she's been champion all these times because she's a superstar. Rhea could give her all the credit in the world if she wants, but the title around her waist, that's what Rhea wants and needs it. She doesn't just want to be a star. She needs to be a star, and after WrestleMania, once and for all is done and dusted, Flair will learn to call Rhea champion. She will learn to fear her. So Dominik steps in. He taunts Charlotte Flair. Charlotte is then taken out by Rhea Ripley via a cheap shot. And then we have a massive brawl. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. Again, it doesn't really make any sense. I'm glad things got physical between the two, but this cannot main event night one. There's no build to this thing. And just having a pretty decent brawl, for me, it does nothing for me. This is something that you can put on the card for sure, but it should not main event. It can co-main event, but it cannot be the actual main event of night one. It wouldn't make any sense. But this was a pretty decent segment here. I enjoyed it. So, Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Sami, and she's asking how the emotional start to the night may impact his mindset going into the showdown with Jay Uso. Sami talks about how enough people say if you're the problem, you start to believe it. He says whatever happens next, as he brought this on himself. If Jay wants him to pull up, it's fine. It's not for him to pull up. Next, LA Knight versus Xavier Woods. So we got this match because Xavier Woods and I believe it was Madcap Moss. Yep, I'm right. Madcap Moss. They're backstage playing WWE 2K23. And so LA Knight taunted him, that being Xavier Woods, and he challenged him to a match. And LA Knight accepted. So Xavier Woods wins via the backwoods, which is just a pinfall. I'm just like, oh my God. Especially just like a little roll-up. I feel so bad for LA Knight. I really do. Feel bad for him. Great Muta. The Great Muta. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's going to kick major ass. Moving on. Kayla Braxton, she stops LA Knight. He tells her to hold on. He walks over to Rey Mysterio. He's signing a stack of autographs. So, LA Knight proceeds to taunt Rey and piss him off. So Rey decks Knight with a big right hand, and he speaks in Spanish and walks off. And LA Knight says, "What the hell did Rey just say?" And I was like, oh, this is funny. So I got a little laugh out of that. And then the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. Basically, it was a no contest. Gunther got involved along with Imperium, and this greatly pissed me off. It was hard-hitting, a great solid match. They're about to get counted out because they're beating the hell out of each other. They both hit the Claymore and the Bro Kick at the same time, took each other out. So then Gunther gets involved, and he points at him and taunts him, says, which one of you wants this, which one of you wants this, and then that's when they're jumped by Imperium. And then Adam Pearce makes it a triple threat, and I'm just like, oh my God, no. But it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not happy about it. Like, why? Moving on. So, Sami Zayn, he walks into the ring. Jey Uso, he's already there, standing in the ring. Sami says he's here, and he asks Jey, how does he want to do this? Jey says he has a job to do, but Sami's going to hear this. Jey didn't like or trust Sami from day one. He didn't want him around his family at all, but week after week, the family started liking Sami. Jey says he was the only one who didn't like Sami. The one time he put his guard down for somebody who he thought loved him. And when he said that line, I was like, damn, I felt that. So Sami betrayed him and made him look stupid in front of the whole world. Jey says someone told him, some woman told him he's always second-guessing himself, speaking about Naomi. But one thing he knows for sure, Sami was fake from day one. Jey mentions not having a choice, but Sami says he made the choice to take abuse from Roman Reigns over and over again. Sami says he was not going to take that, but he loved the family. Sami thinks Jey is mad because he didn't hit Roman first. Sami keeps saying that Jey always has a choice. He always had one. So Jey starts to get really emotional, and he turns around and he attacks Sami. They start to brawl, and then Jimmy Uso comes in, and they brawl some more. The Usos get the upper hand. Out comes my boy Kevin Owens from behind, and KO and Sami, they clean house. KO hits a pop-up powerbomb on Jay. And he hits a stunner on Jimmy. And KO starts screaming like a banshee. And so Sami stumbles to his feet. Both Owens and Sami, they look at each other. The fans chant, hug it out. And they do, to a massive pop. The crowd goes insane. And then Cody, he's looking on backstage on the monitors. And then Sami and KO, they stand tall. So that was Smackdown. I thought it was decent. That was a great visual there. It makes perfect sense, be a storyline wise, because they had to do it this week. I think if they did it next week, that wouldn't be as good, and they had to kind of fast track the story here because they couldn't continue to hold it off. Say, well, no, I want them to unite maybe the week of Mania, but you can't do that. So I'm glad Triple H went ahead and pulled the trigger here, and they're finally on the same page, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So this was solid. There was no Roman Reigns this week. Same thing with Solo. There was no Solo Sikoa or Paul Heyman. No Bray Wyatt or Bobby Lashley. So I wish Bray the best. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe Bobby Lashley can face Bronson Reed. I've heard people, mention that online, which actually would make a lot of sense. But SmackDown this week was decent. It was solid. The qualifying matches, just to get on the WrestleMania card, don't like it. The Rey Dominik stuff, great. Bloodline stuff, great. Cody being on SmackDown, great as well. So SmackDown was okay. What did you guys think? Please hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Peace.